Hello fellow orchid lovers, it's Danielle here with a video about what's currently in bloom and in spike. So first off, I just wanted to thank all of you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for reaching out to me and expressing your sympathy. Whoever may have noticed that I lost my cat. I've had him for almost 20 years. He was kind of like my son. So it was really difficult for me to even talk for a few days, so I haven't been able to post a video, and I appreciate your patience and your kindness in reaching out to me to express your sympathy. Really very deeply touched by all your kind words. But I wanted to just bring you into my grow space because there's a lot going on, and I don't want you guys to miss any of it while I'm grieving. So I just figured I would do kind of more of an upbeat video, hopefully, and just kind of take you through and show you what's going on. You can see a lot of it, but I just wanted to bring you in closer, and we'll take a look together. Some exciting things to come. Some stuff isn't actually in bloom, but it is going to be blooming soon, so I'll show that to you as well. And also, I just wanted to mention I hit a bit of a milestone with my channel. I passed 6,000 subscribers, so thank you so much. When I started this channel a couple years ago, I never thought even 100 people would want to listen to what I have to say. So very grateful for so many reasons to all of you. So let's just I guess we'll start on the top shelf and weave our way down. So fortunately, it's kind of a dull day outside, so there's not too much backlighting, so I should be able to show you what's going on. So this is the Purple Rain that I got. It was supposed to be an Oncidium Burgundian Too Sweet, and it's obviously not, but it bloomed for me, gave me a couple blooms. It is one of my rescue plants because it's in pretty poor shape, but it seems to be coming around. The pseudobulbs are not desiccating any further. The spike has not died back. I do have a few new roots, so she's doing really good. Now the other Purple Rain that I did buy as a Purple Rain, as you can see, she is starting to pop open some of her buds. She does have 2 spikes. This is the further advanced of the 2, and they're just so beautiful. Even as buds, they're just beautiful. And then the other spike is down there, and it's quite a bit farther behind, so we should have Purple Rain blooms for quite some time. My Tropic Lily, unfortunately, I made a slight miscalculation with our grow light. So I used a grow light a couple years ago. It didn't do that well for me. It actually took out a few of my Cattleyas because it was too strong. So I stopped using it, but we've had a couple of really badly dull days. And I just felt like the grow room wasn't getting enough light, especially because some of my Cattleyas are in sheath, and I really don't want to lose any potential blooms because of how dull it's been outside. Very overcast, foggy. So I decided to use my grow light, and unfortunately, it was too strong for this spike. So as you can see, the grow light kind of focused right here, and one of my Rhynchostylus leaves went yellow, and then the middle of this spike died back. So the end is still green, but that's going to go over because the nutrients are now not flowing freely to those flowers, and then it's dying back. So I'm going to lose this spike, unfortunately. But she's been around for a while. She's been in bloom for, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks. So they're beautiful blooms. I'm sorry to lose them, but they're really cool too when they start to go over. They get very colorful. A lot of the pink comes out, the purpley pink that's not really in the bloom. As you can see, when it's not going over, it's very white with like a deep purple. And then as they go over, they start to lose their coloration. The coloration gets more saturated, like it kind of bleeds through the bloom. So Another casualty is one of my dendrobiums, so I'll share that with you as well. And that was the grow light specifically. This is the free orchid that I got from Cattleya Tropicals in my last shipment. So her one spike is completely open, very red, beautiful, beautiful blooms. They're coming up very light red in the picture, but they are very, very deep, like blood red. And not all of them, but a few of the lips have like an iridescent quality to them, and they're very waxy. This is a Wilsonara, I believe. And then it has another spike that should be opening probably in a couple weeks. Diane is still going strong, which is interesting because she hates the heat, and it's been, although it's been overcast, it's been very hot in here. I actually had to run the AC for the first time in this room just to cool it down. It was going above 80. I don't really like to expose the orchids to ambient temperatures above 80, 81. You know, it gets hotter near the glass, and I let it get hotter near the glass because that's where the dendrobiums and the really heat-loving plants live. But the ambient temperature I try to keep, you know, hovering around 80, but not too much more, because then my Phalaenopsis will drop their blooms. But she's been okay. Her blooms are in the circulation of air, so I'm hoping that that will keep her. But I mean, she's been in bloom for months now. She has dropped a bloom every heat wave that we've gotten though, so she voices her displeasure. Our Ceres plant, our tropic lily that we put in our Ceres, her spikes are progressing. And I'm not going to do a Ceres update this week, just because it's just too much for me. But I will get week 3 on film for you and update you as to how those plants are doing. And I apologize for that. This Phalaenopsis, this is one of my newer Phalaenopsis. This is a first time bloom for me. This is Pulcherima, I believe, but it's peloric. So it's got an extra couple of lips there. Really pretty. Very small, dainty little blooms, but the saturation and color, again, it's not really coming through, but it's like almost like a fluorescent purple. And then on the lip, it gets like deeper red. It's just a beautiful, beautiful bloom. I don't detect a fragrance. I don't know if they're supposed to be fragrant or not. But as you can see, the spike is progressing, and it's getting quite extensive, actually, putting out branches. Aubrey is still in bloom. This is the one named after my niece. She's been in bloom again for several months and no signs of going over, so very excited about that. Someone asked me about my vanilla recently and if I had transferred it to watercolor yet. I have not. I'm still putting some deep thought into what I'm going to do for her. My last vanilla I did put in watercolor, but you know, that was a couple years ago when I was, you know, still a bit of a noob as far as watercolor is concerned, and as far as orchids are concerned. And so I want to make sure I come up with a good solution for her, but she's really happy. As you can see, her roots are really doing really well. They are not going brown. They're staying nice and green and growing, and she has extended quite a bit since I got her. I would say a good couple inches on each of her branches. She's doing really, really good. So that's how my vanilla is doing. And when I decide what I'm gonna do with her, I will update you. I still haven't 100% decided if I'm gonna make her a watercolor plant or not. But I will take you on that journey when I do decide. This is one of my newer Oncidium types. This is the Martin Leather Berrylicious. No fragrance, but beautiful, beautiful blooms. Really cheerful, pretty blooms. They almost look like a watercolor painting. The way that the blooms are colored, it looks like watercolor. So I really enjoy those. Something really exciting, actually. This is one of my Miltoniopsis. This doesn't grow in the grow room, as some of you may know. I grow my Miltoniopsis in my master bathroom because it's a north-facing window, so they only get direct sunlight at the end of the day. A lot of bright light during the day, but direct sunlight only at the end of the day. And it actually stays very cool in that room. I really can't grow them in here. I think that they would suffer from the heat, even with all the fans going. So I grow them in my bathroom. Now this plant, I thought it was one of my pink Miltoniopsis. When they all went downhill, I kind of lost the tags, and I was a little frustrated, and so I really didn't take good track of which ones these are. But apparently this is an Andrea West, which I had put the tag for my Andrea West in another orchid. So and it's actually in a lot worse shape than this one. So I thought my Andrea West was a true goner, and apparently not. So this is my Andrea West. She just started popping open, so unfortunately I don't have a full bloom to show you, but I did want to include it. And she's working on a new growth right there and a new growth right there. And I know a lot of you probably wouldn't let a plant that's this young bloom. She's not really young, actually. She's a division off of the plant that died for me. But I have another Miltoniopsis that is in a similar growth status, and she bloomed last year, and I let her bloom, and she's fine. You know, they just put out the one bloom, and it's just something pretty to look for. I kind of don't really interfere unless I see that it's causing stress for the plant. If I see that that spike is starting to drain the pseudobulb, then I might cut it off. But right now she's doing fine. She has a beautiful root system. So I'm just kind of letting nature do its thing. And I'm very excited that this turned out to be an Andrea West, because it is my favorite Miltoniopsis. Our Golden Smile is still in bloom. She still has one bud left here up on top to open, but as you can see, the blooms are still going strong. I lost one right here. I'm not sure why. It was closest to the grow light. The grow light is actually that way. So maybe it was the grow light, I'm not really sure. This plant up here, this I've had this Phalaenopsis for a couple years now. She kind of did some crazy things with her roots over the winter, and she lost a few. I think maybe the move she didn't particularly care for, but as you can see, she put out a spike. I knocked one of the buds off, unfortunately, the last time that I watered her. I wasn't being that careful, but this is actually a very pitiful spike from her. Last year she gave me 16 blooms on her spike, and this year she was only going to give me 4. But I take what I can get. You know, she knows what's best. If she can't support a large spike this year, then, you know, she can't support it. So I'm happy for anything she gives me. This is that white fowl that's been in bloom for quite a while. Still going really strong. Quite extensive bloom spike on her. This is one of my phals that I've had, I think I've had her a couple years too. This is the one I named Cinderella. The blooms are really, really pink, and they're coming through a little washed out. I'm not really sure why, but that one looks a little more pink. But the throat is just beautiful with those spots. Beautiful, beautiful. This orange phal has been in bloom for quite a while as well. It's one of my favorite phals. At night, as the sun starts to go down, that lip looks almost electric blue. Really, really pretty blooms. I wish that cameras would capture just how beautiful these blooms are. And then we have this white phal here with the golden throat. Really pretty. Pink coloration on the back of these blooms. Pink veining, which I find beautiful. My elegant Karen Aloha is still in bloom, doing really good. Took a couple years to get this phal to rebloom, but she finally gave me a spike, so I'm really happy about that. And then our mini phal that I've shared with you, she still has her flowers. She's still doing really good. Coming down here, this Phalaenopsis also took a couple years to rebloom. When I got this plant, she seemed very healthy. She had a really nice root system, and then she went downhill very quickly. I thought I was going to lose her.
We didn't lose her. She survived, and as you can see, she decided to push out a spike, which again has been with me for several months. But her root system has never really recovered, and her roots just really aren't satisfactory to me. So I did do a little cut into her stem, and I found some markings that make me suspicious that she may have at some point been infected with Fusarium. So I did give her a treatment. Hopefully that will wake her up, perk her up, and give her the ability to start putting out some substantial roots now. I have my little keiki garden here. All my little keikis are in here. This Wilsonara has been in bloom for months now, and she's doing really good. This is the Cattleya, the eye candy, I believe, is the type. This is my Phalaenopsis that I don't technically have a name for. I just have what her cross is. She was supposed to be the Joy Fairy Tale. I bought the Joy Fairy Tale, but that's not what she is. But she's beautiful. There's a lot of backlighting, so it's very hard to see her colors. I'm sorry about that. Let's see if I can tip this way. But she's beautiful fragrance. It's a mixture of honey and lemon, and I just adore her. She is a sequential bloomer, so I'm hoping she's going to put out a few more blooms. She only put out 3 so far, but last year she put out a spike. She put out 2 blooms, and then the spike died off. This year she put out 3 blooms, and the spike still looks healthy. You know, the mitten hasn't dried up at all. So I am hoping that maybe she'll give me a few more blooms before she decides to take the spike away. My Twinkle bloom spike, I don't know if I'm going to be able, yep, still progressing, slow as molasses, but she's getting branches. The last Twinkle bloom spike did not get branches, so we'll see. This beautiful baby opened. I mean, right? Beautiful, beautiful spike on this. This is the CM Fitch Itzumi. I really just think it deserves a better name than that, but really beautiful. I mean, I am in love. I think this may have unseated my Shelob Tolkien. My Shelob Tolkien, up until this bloomed, was one of my favorite, you know, spider-like blooms that I have, but wow, just stunning. I also still have blooms on my Atroviolacea, my Latoria dendrobium, still 2 blooms. Beautiful white chocolate smell on these. Love, love, love those flowers. The other casualty of my grow light was actually my little apples, my little green apples. That spike was fine, it was tucked away, but this one, unfortunately, 3 of the blooms got taken out. The 4th one seems okay, but 3 of the blooms got taken out, and it looks like the spike too, so I think I'm gonna lose that guy as well, which is a shame. My Nora Takanaga is still going strong, and my Fire Wings is still going strong, which is amazing because that orchid has no roots. And it's putting up 5 or 6 new growths. So 5 or 6 new growths, 4 blooms, no roots, and somehow it's maintaining it, so go figure, right? I also have my Howiara Lava Burst has opened. I'm gonna have trouble, I think, getting the true color on this for you because of the backlighting. Let me see if I can just take it down to show you, because it is really pretty. I thought it was just gonna be like red, and it is red, but it also has some beautiful orange and some freckles. Really, really pretty. So I'm actually much more pleased with this than I thought I was gonna be, you know. I just thought it was gonna be plain red, but it's not. It's beautiful. And then the other one that was up there with it that I'm just gonna grab for you, sorry, I know that was a little dramatic movement there. This is my popcorn, which is now in full bloom. So I'll share that with you as well. So as you can see, beautiful little blooms, just so pretty. It really does look like popcorn. Really, really nice. Super excited about that one. Was not expecting anything from this plant. I got it a couple months ago and it wasn't in spike. And then a few weeks after I got it, the spike started. And it took a really long time for it to grow, but so pretty. Really, really love that. So slowly bring you back over here because there are a few more things to see before I say goodbye to you. My Saiku Marguerite, I didn't think I was going to get flowers on her because I did not keep up with her watering requirements over the spring, early spring, because we were just so busy with the house. I just didn't keep up, and I thought, oh, I lost the spikes. She usually spikes much earlier than this, but no, she has decided to give me one, two, and then there's another huge one in the back. I don't know if you can see, it goes up past the window there. So at least 3 spikes on her. Now those spikes do take a while to grow, so I will probably be sharing those with you in a month or two, but very excited about that. My new Cattleya, I'm sorry, also has a little tiny beginnings of a spike, but I don't like the look of it, so I don't think it's gonna make it. But if she does decide to pop it out between the leaf joints, I will share that with you. Let's see what else. I also have my spike on my little Lindeni progressing. She doesn't have a fantastic root system, so I was kind of surprised that the spike kept going, but it is, so we'll see how that progresses. And then, you know, last but not least, as far as blooms are concerned, is my beautiful new Bellara. So this is the Memoriam Donald Yamada. And when I saw this advertised on Kelapana's website, I absolutely had to have it. Now, this bloom has been open for a few days, and so far no pink on the lip. The one that was advertised, it was like pink down to here, and then it has like this beautiful lemon yellow finish to it. The lemon yellow is getting more yellow, but the lip is not turning pink yet. Now that may come in a couple more days. I don't really know, but I love it the way it is, so I'm fine with whatever it decides to do. It has a few more buds coming. Again, no scent, but she's beautiful. I'm just in love with this beautiful bloom. And then a few exciting things on my Cattleyas. I don't know if I'm gonna really be able to show you a lot of them because they're kind of tucked away, but my Greenbird has a sheath and it does have a faint shadow in it, so I'm hoping, perhaps. There's a sheath way back there. Do you see it? I can't really get the camera to focus, but that bifoliate back there has a sheath. There's another sheath right there. That one I think is a blind sheath though. That's a first time sheath on that Cattleya, and I can't see a shadow in it. The bifoliate, that's bloomed for me before, and I do see a faint hint of a shadow at the base of the sheath. And then super duper exciting, I have some buds. You see that right there? So this orchid has never bloomed for me before. It was a bag baby that I got from Lowe's, and she's put out sheaths but never bloomed. But this year, look at that. Looks like I'm gonna have 2 buds on her. And she's supposed to be a quote unquote blue Cattleya. So we'll see just how blue she is together. But yeah, so again, I just wanted to thank all of you, you know, for subscribing and for being my orchid friends. And also for all of you who reached out to express your sympathy. It really meant a lot to me. I am going to try to put together a series update video for you for next week, for week 3. I did get a few new orchids, so I do want to introduce you to them as well. But I hope all of you have been really well and enjoying your summer. And I will talk to you all, excuse me, I will talk to you all next time.